everyone, Mitch coming in for the Praders Council studio. Welcome to the show. So, on today's episode, I've got a fun one for you. We've got some bulk bin, absolutely amazing cards. These are going to be cheap cards that have some massive impact. Let's jump into them. First up, Bramble Sovereign. Now, a quick reminder that this card, $1.12, and all the other cards on this episode are mythics that are, well, right around $1 or so, and you can find all of them in a card list link in the description below. So consider picking up Bramble Sovereign because this card is absolutely insane, and there are very few cards like it at all. A 4/4 Dryad for 4 mana and green. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 and a green. If you do, that creature's controller creates a copy of that creature. So essentially what you're doing with this one is you're saying, hey, you know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be, well, mostly just copying my own creatures for incredibly cheap. Again, making a permanent token copy of them is absolutely crazy. Again, for just 2 mana, you play something absolutely massive and you're like, yeah, I could use another Gigantosaurus. Sure, for just 2 extra mana. Absolutely. Of course, also by making token copies of creatures, you can also utilize certain mechanics like, populate and make extra copies of those copies. So copy, making absurd board states. And with this, again, keep in mind that this does actually include your opponent's creatures as well. That being said, when you do make a copy of them, that opponent gets that copy. But of course, there are ways to wheel and deal with this. You can obviously make it known to say, hey, you know what? Everyone out there, I'll make this deal with you, all right? You make a good deal with me. You say, all right, Mitch, I'm never going to attack you with this copy that you make for me. I will only utilize it against this other player. I will not attack you for 3 turns. I will do this. I will do that. I won't attack you until it's just one-on-one at a certain point, right? You make deals, essentially, by giving other players, essentially, copies of their creatures, too. You can do a lot of exciting things with that. A very cool card. It can politic, but more importantly, it can just overpower the board with your creatures. Pick it up. Onward we go to Loyal Retainers, a card that used to be so expensive, but now just $1.31. A 1/1 Human Advisor for 3 mana in white. Sacrifice it, return target legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only during your turn before attackers are declared. Yeah, it's one of those really old cards where it's like, all right, very specific time you can activate this, but it's all right. Again, this is a free reanimation for you, essentially, whenever you need it, to get a legendary creature back, which, of course, could be your commander. Your deck probably is built around your commander, right? That being said, this really shines when you have multiple legends in the deck, especially a legendary tribal deck. My goodness, in a deck like that, where you have all the options in the world, especially one that maybe has some looting effects, some rummaging effects, some tutor to the graveyard effects, potentially. There's a lot of ways where this can really shine, where, again, it is a 3 mana, just, all right, stay on the battlefield, use it when you need it to, and just absolutely astonish your opponents when you're like, okay, yeah, I'll draw, discard, and I'll just put this giant legendary creature in my graveyard, and I will bring it out for free with this. Speaking of free, Doom Whisper. Okay, not free when it comes to cost, $1.47. Not free when it comes to mana value at 5, but its ability is insanely free. A 6/6 Nightmare Demon Flample that has pay to life Surveil too. Okay, it's not technically free because it does cost life, but life is a resource in Commander. Technically, if you're at, your starting life total, you could activate this, 19 times? What other things can you just freely activate 19 times? Nothing. So, with this one, though, this is literally just, okay, free card selection as many times as you can handle, essentially. Filling up your graveyard while you are doing so, again, Surveil is absolutely incredible, especially for graveyard synergies, especially for reanimate synergies, especially for ones that care about the top of their library. It's crazy good. This is already a 6/6 with Flample for 5 mana and absolutely no downside. This is one of those cards that you show it to someone from the past. If you invent a time machine, you go back to the past and you're like, all right, it's 1998. I don't know. Okay, all right, it's 1998. I can't remember what set came out then, but sure. Here, look at this card. They're like, that's a 6/6 flyer with trample for 5 mana, and it doesn't have a massive downside of you losing the game next turn. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, again, being able to freely repeat, freely just go through the top of your library and just get things in your graveyard. And of course, keep in mind, Well, yeah, there are certain creatures out there, certain commanders out there that care about graveyards, care about triggers off that, care about life loss, care about swapping life totals. Yeah, there are so many amazing ways to utilize this card. Definitely a crazy good mythic. Pick it up. Get ready for what's coming next, though, because Master Wild Hunt, I have never seen this cheap. $1.48, a 3/3 human shaman for 4 mana in green. Begin your upkeep, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. I mean, it is already worth it with that for some decks out there. Again, just repeat token production. Essentially, again, and with 2/2s, that's quite nice. Tap, all untap wolf creatures you control. Each wolf tap this way deals damage equal to its power to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to the power divided as its controller chooses among any number of those wolves. Yeah, basically, you sick the pack on people. Yeah, you're just like, okay, yeah, as many untapped wolves that I have, yeah, you go attack that. So, of course, with this, you can, go to combat, attack with whatever wolves you want to attack with, and then in your second main phase, go, okay, all right, let's get rid of that creature. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, you might lose some wolves in the process, sure, but you're also taking out some massive creatures while you are doing so, too. So, yeah, your opponents are going to be in trouble against this one, all while you're making an army of wolves. Not just for Wolf Tribal, this is for a lot of decks out there that care about token production, and again, it can be some nice removal in addition to that, too. Here comes a spicy one, though, at $1.37. We got Nut Collector, yet another token producer, but in a different way. A 1/1 human druid for 6 mana in green. Beginning of your upkeep, you may create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. I like how this is a may. Yes, I will do that. Thank you. Threshold. All squirrels get +2/+2 as long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard. So, obviously, if you're playing a squirrel tribal deck, sure, yeah, this is a shoe-in where you're like, okay, cool, yeah, I can just pump my entire team +3/+3. Even if not, though, this is a commander card that absolutely can just dominate when it comes to, okay, I'm making an army of squirrels, now they're all 3/3s, a lot of value to be had with that. For the right deck out there, again, especially squirrels out there, or just one that cares about token production, or just cares about having a bunch of 3/3s, cares about the graveyard, have fun with it. $1.37. And especially if you are in a green deck that also can include March to the World Ooze. Yeah, there you go. Anthems obviously go a long way when it comes to, going wide strategies, but of course, ones that can just straight up change base power and toughness are insane like this one. Enchant for 6 mana in green. Creatures you control have base power and toughness 6/6 and are ooze addition to other types. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, you create a 3/3 green elfin creature token, which is again basically a 6/6 that is also an ooze. Yeah, this is pretty absurd. Absolutely absurd, actually. This is a massive pump effect for your army. Again, let's assume that you're just making a bunch of 1/1s with a lot of things like Avenger of Zendikar or whatnot. Cool. You throw this down, all of a sudden your entire army is 6/6s. That is game ending. Even if it doesn't end the game, if opponents are playing spells on not their turn, you're making more 6/6s. It's absolutely incredible, absolutely insane. Literally just raising the bar for all of your creatures to an absurd amount. Kind of like Beastmaster Ascension-ish, essentially. Again, like, if you have a bunch of 1/1s, now there's 6/6s, that's +5/+5. So much value to be had. $1.38. Pick it up now. When it comes to value, I've got to bring up Shadow of the Second Sun. It's an aura that hits a player for 6 mana in blue. Beginning of your enchanted player's post-combat main phase. This will beginning phase after this phase. Yeah, and the end step happens after the added untap, upkeep, and draw step. So yeah, that's exactly what you're getting again. Yet another untap, upkeep, and draw. Now, if you've got any kinds of, let's say, upkeep effects, hey, you get to double those up, which there are very few ways to do that, like Paradoxical Haze, that kind of thing, essentially. But yeah, if you have that, great. If not, just be able to go, okay, untap. Oh, I just get free mana. Yeah, this thing can just pay for itself very, very, very easily. And of course, an extra draw, who's going to be upset about an extra draw as well? So again, literally just an extra untap of all your things, including, of course, your lands. Yeah, it can just give you so much extra value, so much extra mana, and you're going to be getting extra cards as well. Extra value, upkeep triggers. You gotta love it. Next up, a card often forgotten, Nexus of Becoming. Yeah, do not forget this card. It is so, so good. So much value to be had here. Artifact for 6. Beginning of combat, on your turn, draw a card. Then you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand. If you do, create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except a 3/3 golem artifact creature to other types. Again, getting an extra card drawn at the beginning of combat. That's quite nice. Again, this is literally just an extra draw engine for you. On top of that, of course, where this really shines is, oh, I've got artifacts and creatures that I actually would rather just go, you know what? This is nice. It's got a nice effect on it. I don't really care about its power toughness, maybe just being a 3/3. I'm just going to get into play for free. Just into play for free. Again, as a creature token copy that is a golem to an artifact. And it being those things again, like I mentioned earlier, being a token, you can actually utilize that in more ways, again, by populating it, by utilizing amazing effects like that with it, by taking advantage of it being an artifact in other ways too. So yeah, being able to go, okay, I'm just cheating creatures into play. Again, maybe they have massive ETBs, massive LTBs, massive effects essentially, massive triggers. You can do some really crazy things with this. On top of it, again, just being a value engine for you, getting you more and more and more cards. Pick it up. A really good card from Big Score, which, yeah, again, is often forgotten. Moving on to Lux Cannon Artifact 4/4. Tap on a charge counter on it. Tap remove 3 charge counters from it. Destroy target permanent. Yeah, again, you might think, okay, well, that takes a lot of time to do, right? Doesn't it? Well, sure. If you're just going about the normal way of, all right, cost 4, get into play, tap charge counter. All right, next turn, tap charge counter. All right, next turn, tap charge counter. And then next turn, tap 3 counters away, destroy something. Yeah, destroying something every 3 turns or 4 turns would be quite a long way to wait. And you'd probably only activate this a couple times in the game. Maybe even just once, potentially, depending on the game and when you get it out. That being said, there are definitely ways to activate this, well, multiple times throughout the game. Many times throughout the game. In fact, one time like every other turn, essentially, or every turn, you can definitely do that with the right deck out there. Again, if you've got a proliferate strategy, which some decks are already built around, like proliferating here, there, and everywhere so many times, certain commanders do that a ton. Yeah, you can get so many counters on this that your opponent's heads will spin. And you're just like, oh yeah, next turn, yeah, I got 10 counters on this. I guess I can just, take 3 of them off. Okay, destroy that. All right, proliferate, proliferate, proliferate. All right, they're back on there. And then next turn, do that. Maybe you've got some untap effects as well. A deck that can utilize that can actually destroy multiple things in the same turn. Or, of course, one that can untap, and not proliferate. You're still getting more charge counters on it, too. Yeah, again, a card that, for the right deck out there, for the right strategy out there, can just be an amazing card that can control the board and actually prevent your opponents from actually playing cards in the first place because they know this is in play. If they play something that's too dangerous, they are going to get it taken out. So that's a way that they can actually make some deals with you to be like, hey, I'm going to play this, but don't destroy it. I will never attack you with it, okay? Like, I promise I'll never attack you. And you're like, oh, okay, sure. All right, no attack me, and just attack my opponents. Thank you. Moving on to Ugans Binding. I mean, this card is absolutely massive for the right deck out there. $1.26, an absolute steal right now. Instant for 3 mana in blue, devoid. Return target non-land permanent you don't own, don't control, to its owner's hand. Again, not owned, so technically if you stole something, sure. Okay, anyways. Whenever you cast a colorless spell with mana value 7 or greater, you may exile Ugans Binding from your graveyard. When you do, return each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. Yeah, this one is, again, I did say 4 specific decks out there. It's not just for any deck. If you don't have, mana value 7 or greater colorless spells in your deck, don't utilize this. There are better bounce effects out there. That being said, if you are in a deck that has, again, massive, like Eldrazi or whatnot, if you've got, a commander that meets this requirement, like a Morophon, my goodness, the amount of value you can get out of this. We're just like, okay, out of my graveyard, I just literally just Cyclonic Rift. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, essentially. I'm just literally Cyclonic Rifting for free out of my graveyard. So yeah, you can do absolutely incredible things with this one. Again, for the right strategy out there, I mean, it is definitely a card that can change the game, can win you the game. Pick it up. All right, buckle up for this next one. Desertion, an instant for 5 mana in blue. Counter target spell. If it's an artifact or creature spell, counter this way. You put that card right on the battlefield under your control instead of its owner's graveyard because you're like, no, you're mine now. This is a card where it says, you know what? I don't want that to happen. No matter what it is, I don't want it to happen. So this can just be a regular counter spell where you're like, okay, yeah, normally I'd seal something with this, but that is omniscience, and I will stop it right now. So it's good that you can stop it. That being said, by being able to go, okay, my opponent plays an amazing creature or an amazing artifact, I am stealing it, and it is mine, and I will wipe the board with their own creature or their own artifact. I will just demolish them with it. So a flexible counterspell in that way, $1.41, pick it up. Get ready for what's coming next, though, with Praders Council. It is so satisfying to cast one of these and just go, I've got the largest hand anyone's ever seen. Sorcery for 8 mana in green. Return all cards from your graveyard back to your hand. Exile Praders Council. You know, maximum hand size for the rest of the game. There are very few cards out there that are just like, hey, you know what? You've got no maximum hand size. Oh, and your opponents can't do anything about this. Again, like a lot of the maximum hand size cards are ones that are like, okay, it's on the battlefield. An opponent could technically destroy it, and then you don't have no maximum hand size anymore. This one's like, no, I just changed the rules for you. You've got no maximum hand size. Good for you. Oh, and by the way, you just got everything out of your graveyard back to your hand, so you have a massive amount of cards. Yeah, this is a game-changing card. One that literally, if you untap next turn, you're like, oh, look at this massive 40-card hand that is just going to stay that large, essentially, and I can do whatever I need to do with it. This works well in self-mill. This works well just, in general decks, just when you have a bunch of mana and you can utilize it at the end of the game. You're like, let's get everything else back. It is a great card for you. So much fun to cast. Pick it up. Finally, though, Doomsday. This is a card that is near and dear to my heart. It was originally in my Golos deck a long, long time ago. Golos got banned, but that's okay. Anyways, for black, sorcery, search your library and graveyard for 5 cards, exile the rest, put the chosen cards on top of your library. There's half your life rounded up. Yeah, life is just a resource, like I said earlier, and that's okay because you are setting yourself up for the win. Again, literally any 5 cards from your library or your graveyard, it goes right on top of your library, whatever order you want. So all of a sudden you're like, all right, I set myself up for the next 5 draws or whatever you're going to be doing with those cards. Essentially with Golos, it was like cast off the top of the library and just win from there. Yeah, this is not for every deck, obviously, but it is an amazing card, one that does some really crazy things. And again, if you've got a deck that can set yourself up properly with this, you can do some absolutely crazy, amazing things that will just make your opponents go, oh my gosh, what is happening? You played a Doomsday? And you're like, yeah, I played a Doomsday. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.